Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video I'm covering all of Mechanics tasks in all of Escape from Tarkov. If you're after a specific task, you can jump straight ahead by going down to the timeline links down in the description below. If there are any minor changes, you can find them down in the pin post down below. Otherwise, if there's major changes or a heap of new tasks added, I will be making the video all over again, and you will find the link to the newest video in the description or in the pin post down below. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So starting off with the Gunsmith series, I'm going to give you tips for Gunsmith Part 1, 2, and 3. This will make it a lot easier for you to get to the future ones a lot faster. However, I highly recommend you check out the Wikipedia page for the best in slot or cheapest and easiest, fastest ways to get these Gunsmith tasks, because they do change quite frequently and the wiki page does keep them up to date. Otherwise, I will have to be putting in hundreds of little tips inside the pin post, and I don't want to do that for you guys because it's just going to get really cluttered and confusing. So the first thing you should do is definitely load up the Gunsmith wiki page part and go through them right there. However, some tips for Gunsmith Part 1 is this. The MP133 shotgun, you can do this barter trade from mechanic level 1, and it is 2 elite pliers and a screwdriver. This will give you the entire shotgun minus the pistol grip, which you can find in raid, or if you already have some of the parts, you can get the plastic grip just from here, from mechanic 1 as a barter trade as well. Next, for Gunsmith Part 2, there is the barter trade for the B11 AKS-74U handguard. This one is a little bit of a choke point for a lot of people as well. You will be trying to find 60-round mags, which can be quite difficult to find. Flea Market is pretty much the best bet for that one, unless you want to go into woods and check out the ZB014 bunker, and sometimes they spawn on the shelves and floors in there. The last one I'm going to give tips for is Gunsmith Part 3. For this one, you need mechanic level 2, which will be around level 15 or 20. And once you get to level 2, you can do an MP5 SD barter trade. After you get that, there's only one more difficult part to get in order to complete the Gunsmith Part 3. And then the rest of it, I highly recommend you check out that Wikipedia page. Introduction. So after you complete Gunsmith Part 1, you'll have the ability to unlock Jaeger. Now, that is through the introduction task. For this one, you're required to go into woods and find Jaeger's camp. It's pretty much right next to the crashed airplane that's near the mountainside of woods. From the airplane, you just kind of look to the open field side, and you'll see a little hut. Where that hut is, underneath it, there'll be like a message. You pick up the message and you extract the raid, and then you unlock Jaeger, which starts off his task line. Now, after you finish Gunsmith Part 1, you can get to Farming Part 1. For this one, you need to go into Factory and fix 2 circuit boards on the walls. In order to do this, you need to have 2 toolkits. You can do them over 2 raids. You go into the factory. One is located near forklift. You go down to the back in the corner, you'll see the flashing light, and you'll fix the first circuit board there. The second one is in glass hallway. As you run down the hallway, it's a really vulnerable spot. You can place this one in here. If you have an alpha container, you can put the toolkit in the alpha container, go in as a pistoling or something, do it that way. If you're worried about losing the toolkit, or you can go fully geared and just do it all in the one raid. It's totally up to you. Survive the raid and extract, and you've passed that task. Farming Part 2. For this one, you're required to pick up 2 powered cords, 4 T-shaped plugs, and 2 printed circuit boards. The power cords can be found in computers and tech stores. Pretty common find item. Also, duffel bags can be found there. T-shaped plugs, you can find these in tech stores, filing cabinets, and duffel bags. They're very common in filing cabinets, so if you're trying to find them, that's the best place to go. And lastly, the circuit boards. Computers, circuit boards, fairly common, but just search computers for the printed circuit boards. You'll find them pretty often. All these items need to be found in raids, so once you've found them in raids, save them, because you'll be able to get this task done pretty quickly. Farming Part 3. For this one, you're required to go into customs, and you require the customs office key. It's the big red warehouse. Once you go inside the big red warehouse and unlock the door up the top, walk down to the second door on the right, breach the door, and on the left-hand side, you'll see a big cardboard box. It's full of graphics cards. You can't steal the graphics cards. Once you've got the graphics cards, extract a raid, hand it in, and you completed Farming Part 3. Farming Part 4. For this one, you need to find 3 found in raid graphics cards and 8 found in raid fans. Now, the fans are very common in computers. You won't have much of a difficulty finding these. For graphics cards, there's 2 major spots. You can go into Interchange and check all the tech stores. They're fairly common. You'll probably be able to find one a raid if you were the first to the tech stores every time. And then the other one is the RBAK room on reserve. It's called the drop down room because you can actually go above it, drop down out the window, and you don't need the key to get in there. And graphics cards are fairly common there. The downside to this room is a lot of people rush it. If you're not first there, you'll miss out. And also, it's a very high friction point for PvP. Now, graphics cards do also spawn in computers. It's just a very low chance, probably about a 1% chance at best. Signal Part 1. For this one, you're required to go into Shoreline and go to the 2 satellite points required in the area. The first one is the big radar tower area. It's pretty obvious. It's a giant radar tower located on the Road to Custom side of the map. You just walk to the middle of where all the dishes are and you'll be able to have that first part ticked off. The second one is on the roof of the west wing of Resort. Head up onto the roof and you'll see in the middle area of the actual whole resort area, you'll see the dish up the top there. Head over to that, survive and exit the raid and hand it in. Signal Part 2. For this one, you're required to find 3 found in raid PC CPUs, 3 found in raid rechargeable batteries, 3 found in raid printed circuit boards, and 3 found in raid broken G-phones. For the PC CPUs, tech stores and computers are your best place for this one. For the rechargeable batteries, filing cabinets are fairly good for this one. Next best is your tech stores, but filing cabinets will be more consistent. The printed circuit boards we've spoken about before. Go into computers. Computers will be your best bet there. And broken G-phones are your tech stores. And there is the G-phone store located on the second floor on the IDEA side of the actual interchange. As soon as you go up the escalator, the store is the first store on your left. After you handed all these in, complete the task. Signal Part 3. This one requires you to go into Shoreline and place 3 jammers across the map. The first 2 you already know, which is the radar tower on the Road to Custom side, as well as the roof of the west wing. You've been there for Signal Part 1. The third and final one is that big tower looking thing right near the Road to Customs extract. Once you've placed all these 3 down, all you need to do is survive the area and extract to hand it in. Signal Part 4. This one requires you to have a level 4 memory skill. At the moment, memory skill is leveled up from leveling anything on the intelligence category of the skill tree, and you'll easily have level 4 in memory when you get to this task. Side thing to note, the Night Force ATACR 7-35x56 rifle scope is required for a couple of the Gunsmith tasks and is a pretty expensive barter trade, so I would highly recommend holding onto this site for Gunsmith Part 6 and later on Gunsmiths. Bad habit. For this one, you're required to find 3 different types of cigarettes: the Marlboro, Strike, and Wilston cigarettes. Now, 2 of them will be fairly common. You'll find them in duffel bags and jackets. The Wilstons are a little bit rarer. The best place to actually get all these cigarettes is in the bunker area of the reserve map. There's the 4 caged areas and you'll be rationed boxes inside there. Inside those ration boxes, you'll get cigarettes. The other option is you get nutrition level 2 in your hideout and you can craft Wilson cigarettes. That would be by far the easiest way to get the Wilson cigarettes done. And just to reiterate, this all needs to be found in raid. Scout. For this one, you are required to go into factory and go to the 3 extracts. Now, if you haven't been playing much factory by now, you might need to actually explore a little bit to find these 3. The first major one is the main extract. You should be all over that one. The other one is underneath forklift. There's a little staircase that goes down. Behind the staircase, there's a door. You do not need the key to get these ticked off, by the way. Just walk straight up to the door, press yourself up against it firmly, and you'll be able to get the first one, or the number 2 handed in. And then the third one is required on the far other side of the map. We used to call this one the single player spawn. On the other side of the map, behind the barrels, there's another door that you can unlock. You do not need to unlock the door, but you just need to go up against it. And then from there, survive and extract the raid and hand this in. Insider, for this, you just required to get Prepper level 3 loyalty. As soon as you have Prepper level 3 in the loyalty, you can hand this one in. Psycho Sniper. Now, with this one, you are required to get Sniper skill level 9. Now, you would have already had other tasks that were required to have Sniper skills leveled up, being through Peacekeeper and Jaeger. Getting Sniper leveled up, I'll reiterate because they'll be the same in the other tasks. The best way to leveling up your Sniper skill is actually shooting things. It's for every hit, you get about 0.5 or 0.6 of a skill point. However, there is diminishing return. So after you get about 3 skill points, you pretty much get none. Alternatively, you can reload a Mosin rifle over and over again, and each time you get 0.1 of a skill point. However, it's going to take quite a long time to do this, and so I would highly suggest getting Sniper's skill up earlier on. So using a Mosin whenever you just want to do like a fun raid for something different to do. Another thing to note with the Psycho Sniper task is there is a Peacekeeper task called Mentor. You are to hand in 50,000 euros, and it will give you 3 sniper levels. Now, if you actually get to level 6 snipers before you hand in this task, you will jump up to level 9 and save yourself a lot of effort. So I would highly suggest not handing in the mentor task until you're already level 6 in snipers. Import. For this one, you need to find a UHF RFID reader and a VPX flash storage module, both found in raid, and hand them in. These ones are quite hard to get, and you can pretty much only find them on labs. And if you go into labs, you need to be able to survive the raid as well. The next best thing you can do, and you can do this on the side, is actually craft these in the hideout. The RFID requires you to get a Vertex, a labs keycard, and 2 Wi-Fi jammers. If you want to craft the VPXs, you'll need 3 RAM sticks, 1 SSD, and also a G-phone. Now, this will require to either have intelligence level 2 or 3 in the actual hideout, so it will take you quite a while to get there. If you are trying to find them on labs, there are a few places on labs to find these items. Mostly, there are across from Dome or around the Dome area and throughout the rest of the map. I will be updating my labs guide eventually, where I will show a complete rundown of all the spawns there. However, for now, I will have a link down below for my labs guide, the older one, which still has the exact same spawns for all these items. Fertilizers. For this one, you're required to find 5 found in raid, wires, and capacitors. Now, both wires and capacitors are extremely common in computers as well as in tech stores, and you shouldn't have much of an issue finding these items and surviving the raid. Alternatively, you can get these in the hideout. You will be crafting a lot of these items in the actual hideout itself for other things that you need to get done. If you want to craft the wires, it will cost you 2 cords. And if you want to craft the capacitors in the hideout, it will cost you a PSU and screwdriver. Shooter Born in Heaven. So this task is actually very frustrating for a lot of people. I actually find it as one of the more enjoyable tasks. There's one map that's actually quite difficult to do with a lot of enjoyment, which is Interchange, but the other maps can actually be a bit of fun to try and complete. It does become very frustrating because 100 meters in Tarkov feels like an eternity of distance. It's just really, really far. So when you have this one, just bear with it. It's going to take a little while to get through. You do need to get past farming part 4 to actually unlock this task. So it's one of those ones that you want to try and unlock earlier to be able to even get onto, so then you can progress for it passively more than actively going out to try and get this task done. Now, for a complete rundown of the Shooter Born in Heaven task, I have a full guide dedicated for this with all locations and proof of my headshots in these locations on each map. So I'll go down the link below. There's another going to be a link. I'll also have a link up the top up here in the cards so you guys can get access to that one. So guys, thanks for watching another video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. It really does help out for the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to put out all these task guides as quickly as possible, but if you are after any other guides for me, go down below, hit up the description. There should be all the other trader tasks, as well as you can subscribe and hit the notification bell for the latest information that I am putting out for Escape from Tarkov. If you got any Tarkov questions, you can feel free to hit me up on my live stream. I do stream on Twitch every day of the week, so you can go down the link below over there. Otherwise, hit me up in the comments. I try my best to reply to as many as possible. Lastly, guys, I'll see you next time.